foreign coins, world coins, whatever you prefer to call them. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a bunch of coins from outside of the United States with various different silver purities. Each country pegged their currency to a certain weight in silver, not gold. The silver standard varied from country to country but lasted over 5,000 years, going back to 3000 BC. The gold standard only lasted about 50 years in every country that adopted it. Most coins were minted in around 80 to 90% silver purity, but there are some strange ones and even an evil one. Let's get started. To make this entertaining from the beginning to end, I'll start with the lowest purity and move up to the 90+% purity. That's where all the big coins are. Let's start with Billon, which is a term for coins with between 10 and 30% silver. 10%. Mexico, for real. The Mexican pesos, minted between 1957 and 1967, like the one I have here, is made with 10% silver. One of the lowest, but you have to give it to them. They held on to the silver as long as they could, mainly because they have an F-ton of natural silver deposits. But don't think about stacking these because these only have about $1.50 melt. You would need about 20 of them to equal 1 ounce troy. There was a lot of medieval coins that were labeled Billon that don't state exactly how much silver is in them, but roughly probably around 15%. Like what I have here, a 1649 Sweden 1 solidus. These are pretty cool, but don't stack these either. These are really for just collectors' value now. And here's an 1850 Switzerland 20 Rapin. This is 15% silver Billon. And between 1850 and 1859, these were 15%, but after 1860, they started making them copper nickel. In 1800, Napoleon formed the Bank of France, and between 1807 and 1809, France minted a 10 centimes in 20% silver. You could easily mistake these for copper nickel or bronze. Back to Mexico. Before minting the ridiculous 10% silver peso in 1957, Mexico minted the 25 and 50 centavos with a purity of 30%, which isn't that bad, but the metal needs are only about $1 and $2. But at least they gave it a badass design. I love the Central and South American coins with the lei design. Some 1800 German cruisers, like this 6 cruiser from Bavaria, were minted in 33% silver. These are also some badass designs, but like a lot of small silver coins from the 1100s to the 1800s, the melt is only about $1, so don't stack these. In my opinion, any coin less than 80% isn't worth stacking. If you notice, I just scrolled through a whole bunch of cruiser coins ranging from 18% all the way up to 43% silver, but for the sake of time, I'm going to classify them all as 33% in this video. The 1897 Dominican Republic coins from the 10 centavo all the way up to the peso were minted in 35% silver. I love these. The numismatic value rivals some of the 90% silver pesos. I've bought and sold many of these, and I like them a lot. They're really beautiful coins. I just wish they had a higher purity. I'm sure there's too many coins to count that were minted in the 40% purity, but the ones that come to mind are the 1940 Sweden krona, the 1870s and 1900 Denmark 10 ore, the 1900s Chile 5 and 10 centavos with that huge condor on them, the 1966 Panama half Balboa, or the media Balboa. All the Panamanian coins are badass. I had a few of them, but I sold them. There might be more, but the only one I can name right now is the 1915 to 1916 Chile 10 and 20 centavos. This would be an hour-long section if I named all the 50% coins, but here's some of the mentionables. Canada 10, 25, and 50% between the last 2 years of 67 and 68. Great Britain, a lot of coins between 1920 and 46. Australian coins 46 to 63. And New Zealand coins 1933 to 46. Chile in the 1900s. Colombia in the 1940s and 1950s. Costa Rica had a few. Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Yugoslavia. So many more included in the 1950 Mexican quechaton or fat-faced peso. And I failed to mention the German 1924-1925 Weimar Republic coin that was minted during hyperinflation that I just showed. I understand I'm going a little too fast and I'm about to slow down a little bit. I wasn't planning for this video to be really extremely detailed on the coins itself, but just the purity. So I do plan to make some videos on each country or typesets or something like that. You can comment below and give me some ideas about what kind of separate foreign coin videos you'd like me to do, and I'd gladly do them. Now on the 60%. The 1926 Straits Settlement 5, 10, and 20 cent coins were 60%. There is a 1947 and 48 Turkish lira, and one of my favorites, a coin that I regret selling, the 1937 Brazil 5000 race. I like this coin because they honored the aviation pioneer Alberto Santos, and I hope you guys look him up because he beat the Wright brothers to aviation, but he didn't get the fame. And he helped in France during World War II and went through a deep depression when he witnessed his invention turn into a weapons against humanity. Sad. 625 silver was used by Nazis. Well, the two Reichsmark between 1933 and 1939 was 625. Also with some West German coins from 1951 to 74, and also some German commemorative coins. The Hungary Pingo coins between 1928 and 1939, which I want so bad. The Netherlands 1/10 golden and 1/4 golden, as well as the Austrian 5 shilling with a C, 65%, only one country, Portugal. I do love the boat on the 2.5 and 5 escudos though. 1935 to 1951. Now the evil one. 666, the infamous 1897 Colombian 10 and 20 centavos. Cool, but why? 720, the Chile 1 peso from 1915 and 1917, the Egypt 5, 20, and 25 piastras from 56 to 64, the Japanese 10 cent and 50 cent from 1922 to 1938, the Netherlands half 1, 2, and 2.5 golden between 1921 to 1967. You have to look it up. The Mexican peso from 1920 to 1945, the 10 centavo, the 25 to 35, the 20 centavo from 05 to 19, the 25 peso from 68 and 72, and the 100 peso, or the cien, from 1977. Both are commemoratives, and these are the first coins on this list that I would consider stacking only if you can get them at melt because they're basically 720 bullion. Now on the 75%. The Ireland shilling, florin, and half crown from 1928 to 1942. Yugoslavia 20 and 50 denarii from 1932 to 1938. Now to the most collected and most popular foreign coin of all, the Philippines. The 10 centavos were all 75%. The 20 centavos and the 50 centavos were 75% from 1907 to 1921. And that transitions us to 80%. The Philippines peso was 80% from 1907 to 1912. Other 80% coins are the China 1910 25 cent. It's 80%. I think it's the only one. The rest are all messy. The Hong Kong 5, 10 cent and 50 cent between 1901 and 1905. And the Denmark kroner from 1915 to 1916. The 2 kroner from 1903 to 1960. The 10 kroner from 67 to 72. Mexico, they tasted the 80% water, so did Japan, Hungary, and Australia with the 1966 50 cents, and Ceylon. But mainly it was Canada and Newfoundland from 1920 to 1966, all the way from 10 cents to the dollar. Here's another one I almost forgot about, the 1966 Spain 100 peseta. This one is really good for stacking, if you can get it for melt. For my own sanity, I am ending the video here as part 1. Please make sure you check part 2. Also, I want to do something different with 835 and 90 and 92 and so on. So I'm going to take a different approach and make a part 2. Please make sure you check it out. Thanks.